G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Well, winter's sort of kicking in over here. It's 9 to 23 thereabouts, and look, of a morning, the last two mornings we've had a couple of mils of rain early in the morning, but when the sun comes up the sun chases it away, and you end up with lovely days. It's not too bad at all. So yeah, today I'm in the workshop, or in my little machine shop here, buggering around. I'm trying to keep busy, but well, it's not hard to keep me busy. And Saturday I was up the shed, and I've got a little bit more filmed on the TEA 20, on the Sparex Ferguson TEA 20 series, and I had a couple up the spout last week that I just didn't get time to edit even. So it was just one of those bloody weeks that drove us mad. There's about a 20k southwesterly wind coming too at the moment, so I've got the door on the shipping container sort of half closed to so it doesn't sort of want to blow in here and stir us up a bit. I've just shifted my chair around a bit. So a couple of the jobs I got done this week is under my chairs here. From dragging them round up in the concrete, they'd worn the rubber caps off, so I'd had a bit of a hobby mat under that, so I actually got the Bunnings and I got the right cap, so I'm all good now. And I washed all the floor this morning, degreased and washed, and the missus reckons, well, while you're going you can do the house. I was way too busy for that. So, well, I think she done it on the weekend anyway. But I got the back flush unit I was playing with finished. There'll probably be a separate video of that, I believe. And it was just those fittings that I bought, and little bits and pieces like that sort of worked in okay. But yeah, last week was buggering around with that. Now my mate Malteser, he's got the old Hart Par we did the carby and that on, and when you go to crank the engine on the crankshaft, you crank it at the front of the crankshaft, and we're waiting on rings out of Melbourne at the moment for it. They're 5 3/4 by 5/16 by quarter deep, and we've had to have them made, and it's quite expensive to do that. But in the meantime, where you crank the engine over, the crank handle comes really close to the mudguard, and you could do yourself a bit of an injury if you weren't too careful. So we've decided, he's decided to extend out the front of the crank 220 millimeters. I was just looking for the other part, but I've got it. Must have it sitting up there in my lathe. So so what we're doing is, this was the piece on the crank with the key and it had a little cast piece that bolted on the front here, and the crank handle fitted into that, and you wound him up and away you went. And so what we've done is, this was way too long. This was going back, hitting the timing cover. You can see where it had run back and actually wore a groove in here that wasn't supposed to be there by factory. And so what we've decided to do is take a bit off the back there. We're going to push this on a bit further. Then the crank was flush with this, so we're going to stick the crank out about 10 millimeters or so. Then we're getting a big piece of 75 mil 4140 that he bought at the Scrappies, and we're going to bore that out so it sits over the crank to help locate it. Then the piece that used to bolt straight on here is going to be bolted on 220 millimeters further out. So we have that coming up. On Friday evening I machined this piece up, and well, I didn't make this, I just tidied it up. We had to shorten it, and you can see where people over the years had bashed it with hammers, and we've got a big mark there where they've been getting the jib key out. Jib key. And so I machined that, and I machined the other part just flat, try and get them as true as we can. We won't know till we get it running, see if we've got any run out, but I indicated off the crank there, so I hope we're good. But I just took the absolute bare minimum off there that I thought we could get away with doing. So we'll see. If we have to readdress it, well, we shouldn't be a worry. But yeah, I indicated off the crankshaft surface here because all these were a bit dicky. But even when I did try around the top of the surface there, I was getting within about 1 or 2 thou. So look, I think we're good. But But holy shit, this early cast iron, it is the dirtiest shit to machine. Now, I machined the 2 cast iron pieces, and well, I spent the next 2 hours cleaning the lathe. Oh, it got everywhere. And so yeah, 10 o'clock Friday evening, I was out in my little hoochie here, dusting and wiping and washing with petrol and pulling the tailstock out and cleaning under it. Then you trying to clean under the apron, and then you'd think you got it all out, and you'd let it sit for a bit and give it a flush out with a bit of petrol and all that. Then you'd move it, then there'd be a couple little bits of grain come out, and you think, oh Christ. So you'd go over the process again, but bloody hell. It probably took me an hour to do the job, and probably about nearly 3 hours to tidy the lathe up again, because it was just everywhere. And yeah, it flew up, and all my tool holders I had to give a bath and all that. So I vow and declare, next time I do a bit of cast iron, it's going to be up on old Big Bertha up the back, the big old Maxon lathe. And it's a bit of a mess up around that anyway, so you wouldn't notice the difference. But with my new lathe here, oh God, it made it a mess. So I ended up with petrol rags and a bit of Breaker-Lean and petrol rags and wiping everything down. And then once I thought I had it clean, I thought I'd give it a bit of a blow around, trying not to blow swarth up in under the apron, but try and hop in and blow it out from the centre up the hole. Oh, what a bastard of a job. But anyway, I got it all tidied up, and I've got the 75mm piece of 4140 chucked up, and I've drilled a hole in the centre, and I'm starting to do the little nib for the crank end, which is the opposite end of here. It'll be the top end there. So we got a bit of that mucking around. I'm really enjoying those new knobs we put on the lathe. They're a good thing. They've made the lathe nicer to use. Malteser was over here the other day when he brought this stuff, and he bought my old lathe, and he reckoned, oh, that looked all right. So he may go that way. Who knows? We'll have to see, I suppose. The other week I spoke about getting some plastic trays like Aaron and Durda from Always Sunny in the Shop. Well, they turned up the other day, and they've got the little tags, and I've just been using the old dyno thing. Oh, it's a bit agricultural, but it bloody works. I only need to know what size drill's there. So these fellas here, they lock together. Now what I'm finding is when I'm locking them together like that long ways, in the tin drawers, as you put a bit of load in, the tin drawers move a little bit, and these don't want to stay locked in as good as I reckon they should do it. But look, they're good, they're all right. But yeah, it's so small, the little dovetail there, that I noticed some of them I've got in there that I've started on. I keep having to set it up and redo it. But once it's all done and I know exactly where everything's going, I may put a spot of super glue there just to stop it from moving. And but I think it's all right. You have little hooks on this end as well, and turn it around the right way, Lance, and that hooks in there and locks in well. So the side ones seem to lock in really well. The long ways ones, and look, it may be just my cheaper drawers that I've got. They're not expensive ones, but yeah, look, Mum, no hands. Yep, it holds there. And so today I'm taking a little bit of time to try and sort some of that out. I've only just started with the Imperial drills now, and I've got the drawer marked out over there with all the little tags in from 1/16 in 64th increments up to 1/2 inch, and there is room on the end of the drawer to continue on with 9/16 and some of the other drills. So I'll probably go until I fill the drawer up, because I have another drawer with just Morse tapered drills just chucked in anyhow. But and then I'll under the Imperial drawer I'll have a metric drawer, and that'll cover the 1/2 mil sizes from 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3 up to 13 millimeters. So which will be your normal drills in most kits that you buy. I did wash ultrasonically clean a heap of drills, and I didn't know where to put them, so they're just sitting in that drawer there. that drawer is just chockers with them, and some of them are good, some of them aren't. Sparex, that sponsors the channel, they used to bring out these little sets of drills, 16th to half inch in imperial sizes, and I think they did the metric ones too, but they were HSS, but look, they weren't particularly good drills. They didn't seem to hold an edge as well as they probably could have, but I used to put them in my service vehicles, and usually we weren't doing fine tolerance fitting. We were just drilling a hole to get a bolt through, or put a bracket on something, or, you know, if half a mil or a 16th probably didn't matter. So if one drill wasn't real sharp, you could use the next one up or down from that size. So, but yeah, we were always putting bloody drill kits in these service trucks. So those there, some of them are good, some of them aren't. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to work through them all. I'm going to try and keep the good, the Sutton, P&N, the Worth, and some of the better names. We're going to keep them in our trays for day-to-day use, and the lesser quality ones we won't throw out, but we'll keep them stored away in a box or a drawer or something, and if we need to cut and shut, or have a short drill for one job, they'll be the ones that we'll hop into. Like with the that's a little drill that we had that was broken, and I had a muck around the other day, and just put a 35-degree end on it, just as a little stubby drill. I don't even know what size that is. You can't read it anymore. So that's where these things will be handy. Once I've measured it up and it drops in the thing there, well, we'll know we'll know the size, and probably 1964. I'm just guessing. Doesn't matter. So today I'm hoping to put a little bit of time into that and get that tidied up. I've got some videos to render, so while I'm in here I can work on a video, then get it editing, or get it rendering, edit it all up, get it rendering, and then while it's doing that, I can continue on with this job here and just keep the whole show on the road, so to speak. The other week I also bought the large edition of the Engineer's Black Book. It turned up, and I love these things. my other little Engineer's Black Books here, that's the second edition. This is the third edition. I bought a big one because I'm an old fart. This old one here, I don't know how long I've had that, but look, it's been a fair while, and it's got stained pages, and if I'm doing anything dirty, I've got dirty hands, this is the one I look at. But you'll notice as times change, you had the symbol of how you come up with a yard and all that sort of thing, and you had a man there in the nude, and there was a yard, and all the measurements were worked mainly off a man. Well, looks like we got a bit politically correct now, so now he's got a pair of ovaries on. So so that's how times change. So I don't know, it's probably just staying political correct. Pat Rapp's the bloke that makes these books in Western Australia, and look, they're a great thing. I reckon he'll be doing all right out of that. I see Stephen R from Shark River Machine, and a few of the other fellas, they're using him over in America, and Mr. Pete uses those books. So he's got some good followers out there, and look, they'll be a good thing. Oh, with this one, I haven't done it yet, but when you buy the big one, you can actually, you get a set of tags. Is that the right way? Oh yeah, one will be, one won't be, because they're tags for the pages. So the more commonly used pages, you can put a little tag there if you want. So they're not included, they're not stuck onto the book, but they are included in there. And look, I'll probably put them on, because sometimes I fluff through there trying to look for something, and a little tag on there would be fine. But look, they have about carbide tips and all sorts of things there. So so that shouldn't be too bad. But look, I haven't got an awful lot in the stew this week. I do have some footage of some machining of that the back flush unit, and I put it on Facebook, and people tell me, oh, you need a tap on the air. Well, we used to just run air through a radiator, or run water, sorry, and then just kink the air hose and just woofa, give her a blast through. But I have got a tap with a Nitto male one end a tap, then a Nitto female, and I use that for testing hydraulic components. And sometimes you do something up with for a hydraulic system, and you can actually air test first and check your pressures and all that sort of thing first. So so I will probably put that on just as an exercise for it. But we have got the head on TEA20. I put a bit of time into buggering around working out how to explain the timing of the engine better, and look, I think I've done all right. And how you can turn the cam sprocket, you can turn it 90, then you can flip it over and all that sort of thing. So I think I've explained it fairly well. I think anyone that's doing that job and don't have timing marks, I think they'll come all right with it. I didn't put timing marks on my sprockets apart from the little bit of paint pen, a little bit of whiteout sort of thing to do that. So but there, look, all the front's back on again at the moment. That's good. And I've completed a separate video on how to set the rockers, the tappets. So hopefully that's of help as well. Another milestone we hit through the week is we hit 20,000 subscribers for Bundy Bear's Shed. So yeah, look, who'd have bloody thought, eh? And yeah, I never thought the first video I did was a John Deere remote couplers, and the second one was the injection pump resealing one. And a lot of people come my way because of that. It's sitting at 1,050,000 views or something the other day when I bothered to look. So that's brought a lot of people my way. I get a lot of emails and things nowadays for how do I fix this and how do I fix that, and I get some that says I copied your videos and my pump doesn't work. And I said, well, you can't quite copy it right because mine worked. And so, another thing, I got a John Deere DX110 rider mower, and it's got a 19 horsepower Briggs & Stratton single cylinder engine in it, pressure fed lube and all that. And for the past few months, when you mow flat out, it mows like a bloody beauty. And yet when you want to just drive around with a trailer on the back or something, it just hunts. It's and it's quite savage, bang, and it's quite yeah, it sounds like it's going to bugger something if I keep doing it. So anyway, it's been like that for a month or two. Well, look, probably more. And anyway, I jumped on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube. And I jumped on YouTube and I had a look at surging Briggs & Strattons, and they reckon there's a little rubber gasket up in there. Everything's bloody plastic, like the outside carb is aluminium or muck metal, that junk casting stuff. And then I've got a good bowl on it, and you pull the bowl off and everything's plastic. And anyway, they reckon you've got a bucket O-ring in there. So I thought, oh, okay. So I went to John Deere and I bought the O-ring. And the missus was rattling me chain about it the other day. She says, we should fix this mower. It sounds like it's going to do damage. And I said, yeah, just another job. I'll get to it. So anyway, yesterday was the day. So I did a bit of filming in the morning. I did the tappets in the morning, and then I thought, okay, I better hop into this mower. And I got half a day filming Saturday because the kids come out to ride motorbikes. So we did that all afternoon. And so anyway, I popped the carby apart, and the old gasket was good, but I blew it all out and bucketed around with it and put it all together, and exactly the same. And so I googled it again, and they said, oh, it's rubbish in your low circuit on your mower. And I thought, yeah, I could sort of understand that. So I pulled it all off again and brought it up here, and I run carby cleaner through it, and I blew shit out of it. But now and then it would backfire through the carby, and I was thinking, oh, that's bloody timing. It's either getting spark or not getting spark or something like that. So I thought, look, it's only done 160 hours, and every 20 hours on the dot, just about. It gets an oil change and gets the filters checked out and all that. So, yeah, I had a service kit that I bought from John Deere here for it. So I thought, bugger it, I'll put the spark plug in out of the kit and I'll make sure I've got a good fuel filter in there. And, you know, the fuel's fresh, and put the fuel filter on. And I thought, I wonder if I've got a riding tappet. So I popped the tappet cover off and checked the tappets, and I had to adjust one. I felt it was a bit tight, but so I just set them to 10 thou each just so I knew I had clearance, and put it all together again, exactly the same. And I don't know whether, see, some of those Briggs and Strattons, they have an alloy key, and if that fuel shut-off solenoid coming up under the carby doesn't shut the fuel off, you get a backfire. And I was wondering, was a backfire enough to shear that key half off? And I thought, oh, I'll pull the flywheel off and check that aluminium key. But anyway, in the end, after rooting around this carby half a dozen times, I said to Judith, oh, I'm bloody sick of this shit. I'm just going to take it to Harry's Mowers over north. And she says, usually you annoy shit out of something until you fix it. And I said, yeah, usually I do, but I just got shit I want to do. And don't root around the mower. And, so anyway, after probably 3 or 4 hours playing with this mower, I thought, bugger it, I'll take it over to Harry. And so this morning I loaded it up in the back of the ute, and I called in at the shop for a little while. It's Monday morning, my home day for catching up on things, and dropped over to the shop and dropped some parts off that I had here that they wanted, and went over to Harry's Mowers over north, and they said, oh, we can't even look at it for a month. Fair dinkum. And she said, yeah, Harry's had a bit of a sore back, and yeah, they reckon in the COVID everyone must have been tidying up their yards and that. She said, they are just flat. And but she said, I could leave it there, but she says, look, we won't even look at it for a month. She said, we just can't. And I said, look, I'll take it home again, and because I can mow, I can do any mowing I need to, you know, with the deck cut in and under load, so we know the main jet's okay and all that, and I can adjust the mixture a bit and all that, but it's just when we back it off we have trouble. And so yeah, so I've got a card from Harry's, and when they clear their backlog, I'm in the list, then they'll ring me up and I'll drop it over again, and they'll sort it all out for me. So yeah, I've got to tell Harry what I've been up to with it, and I'll take him the John Deere service kit, and he can service the engine and do the tappets. I'll get him to run across the whole lot, but yeah, normally I can rattle things, and even you have a little hairspring. You have the governor rod, and there's a little hairspring there that if that breaks, I'll hunt a little bit. Well, I thought I might have stretched that a little bit, so I cut a 1/4 inch off the end and put a new hook on just to make sure it was tensioned correctly, and no difference. The bloody things, I'm just looking out the door, it's sitting out there now. In the back of the ute. I've got to go up the back and get the forklift and unload it now. So, but yeah, it's not often things like that beat me. But it was just, I just got that much I need to do and want to do. I just don't want to root around all weekend with a shitbox lawnmower. So anyway, we'll see. I'm not going to play with it. I'm just going to take it to Harry when the time's right, and he can have a fiddle around with it, and he'll send it back. He's my age, Harry, and he's been over there for, well, we moved to Bundy in about 94, something like that, and yeah, look, it'd be before that even. And yeah, Harry was there then, and so it looked like he'd been there for a bloody long time then. So but anyway, I'll take the mower to Harry, and I'm just not going to root around with the bloody thing. And I thought, well, I can take it to John Deere Vanderfields, but they've got Vanderfields is a big public listed company and just a big mob, and Harry's a little bloke like myself, and so I thought, oh well, I know Harry, he races lawnmowers and things like that. I've known him for years, and so just try and support the little fella. So anyway, we'll have to put up with it missing and farting, or just hunting for a little while longer, and. But yeah, the fuel shut-off solenoids work, and I've ohms tested. I've tested anyway. I've done everything I know how to do, and but look, that's about it for this week. I'll go handheld. I'll just show you the drawers that I've been working on, the drills I've got up my sleeve ready to go in. I'll show you, take you over the lathe and show you that hunk of 4140 that we have chucked up in a new lathe over there. It's bloody hard. It's I know 4140 is harder than normal steel, but this seems a bit extra hard. Nearly looks like stainless, but it's got 4140 written on it and the blue paint and all that I machined off. So I think that's okay. And so that's about it for this week. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for helping us to hit the 20,000 subs. It's part of the business. The money that YouTube pays me, I declare in the business so I can claim a few tools, and so it's a whole group thing with the Bundy Bear's Shed hops in to help Queensland Tractor Spares, and Queensland Tractor Spares promotes Bundy Bear's Shed, and it's just a circle. It all works in together nicely. Keep your eyes peeled for some new probably merchandise and things coming out. I've engaged a graphic designer in town here, and he does caricatures and things like that. So we're going to put out a couple of items as in shirts and things like that. It's hard to get a place where you can do them cheaply in Australia, but we're looking at it, doing a bit of merchandise for the channel, and a few giveaways, just a bit of fun, you know, just put something back, and so we're looking at like we got to be careful. Like, my name's Bundy Bear, and I've been Bundy Bear for years, you know, in the old engines and all that sort of thing. And but we have the Bundy Bear, the polar bear from the Bundaberg rum people, and so if we put Bundy Bear sitting on a TE20 driving it around, which is what we're doing, we have to be careful that our Bundy Bear looks more like me and less like them, because we're nothing to do with each other. It's just the name that it's a nickname I've had for 20 years. So we've got to be careful with that, because they have a trademark with the Bundy Bear as their trademark for the Bundaberg Rum Company. So we're trying to have something that's Bundy Bear, me, on a tractor, without getting too close to what they're doing, even though we're completely separate industries and things like that. So we've got to be careful with that. The designer's well aware of that. We're working with it. We're looking at a little country cottage and a TE20 there, and like Bundy Bear there working, a polar bear, working on the bench. And look, we're just buggering around, having a bit of fun with it. It's going to cost a few $100, and we're just going to put out a bit of merchandise like coffee cups and caps and a few t-shirts and things like that. And we're getting the Queensland Tractor Spares. We're going to do a little bit for that as well, that we can promote on the website. And these Teespring and these other companies like that, they look after all this for us. So the last thing I want's a bloody clothing store in Queensland Tractor Spares. You know, people fitting shirts, and that's just shit. So anyway, stay tuned for that. I'll let you know how all that goes. It'll be a couple of weeks before we even get the first renders through. But so yeah, that's just a bit of fun. We're just doing that just for a bit of a laugh and a bug around, and you know, a couple of old rag hats that the farmers wear and things like that. We'll see. But anyway, look, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for helping us get to the 20,000. Have a good week, everyone, and all being well, we'll catch you next week.